What is up, YouTube? In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to install Ripp's upgraded thermostat in my Ripp Supercharged Dodge Charger. With Ripp's upgraded thermostat, it activates at 180 degrees compared to 210, activating your coolant system sooner, keeping your engine cooler for longer, and in theory should be better for your overall engine health in the long term, especially considering these are aluminum blocks. Let's get straight into the tutorial and I will show you how I'll go about installing this. Here is where the thermostat is located, conveniently right on top of the engine. If you have the Ripp Supercharger kit like I do, you will have the slimmer profiled coolant transfer case and your thermostat will be mounted upside down. Let's get straight into removing this. First step, we will be removing this coolant hose using a 8mm socket, and I've just placed some shop towels below because this will leak out some coolant. I removed that tensioner strap, and then this did pour out a decent amount of coolant, so I've just used a bungee cord attached to right here to kind of hold it up so it's just not straight pouring out all the coolant. Now we're going to remove the thermostat itself, and we just have two 10mm bolts, so one on top and then that one below. We got the thermostat removed. Leaked out quite a decent amount of coolant, so maybe just have a little bit extra prepared to add in. And here is the thermostat removed, and there's the piece we will be replacing. You can buy from Ripp just the whole housing itself put together, but I just got the thermostat piece for the inside because I already had this aluminum housing, so it's pretty nice, so I'm just gonna keep it. And then this top spring part, you got this metal part holding the spring down. Just gonna push down, twist it, and then you can slide it out of these grooves. With our spring and bracket piece holding the thermostat into place, we can now remove the original thermostat and place in our new upgraded one. And as you can see, we have this metal rod piece which we're going to insert into the hole below. Well, running into an issue here. If you look at the old one compared to the new one, this one is shorter and thicker compared to this one, so this one isn't seating properly into there. So I'll probably have to order the housing from Ripp to put this on, so we'll have to do that. So this video will probably continue a week later. All right, we are back after a few days. Only took a few days for this to come in, actually. Got our whole upgraded thermostat with the housing. It's got the Ripp logo, pretty sick. And oh my gosh, this got me so ecstatic. I would have gotten this so much longer ago if I knew this, but this will actually mount properly. So the bleeder valve will be back on top again, and I can use it to bleed air out of our coolant system correctly instead of having to go through a bunch of hassle. So that is awesome. Yeah, where we left off, some mistakes were made, but that's okay. You know, that's how we learn and grow as people. But yep, I'm pretty excited to put this in. Let's get straight into it. Just gonna loosen up this hose, and we're gonna do so with our 8mm socket. And this time I'm gonna be more prepared. Got a plastic bottle I put down there. I just cut the side of it off, so now the coolant will drip down into there. And once we have the hose moved, I think we'll have enough room that can put this 2-liter in and catch any of the coolant that drips out of the coolant transfer housing, because I had a bunch of coolant all over my garage floor and it was just a mess. So I'm gonna try to prevent that as much as possible this time. So let's loosen that and take off the hose. Got our hose detached, used our bungee cord again just to hold it up so it's not leaking out a bunch of coolant, and that did work pretty well. It did catch most of the coolant. Also, I did call Ripp and they said I can return the original core that I ordered, so that's cool of them. They sent me an email on the steps to do it. I just haven't done it yet, but just thought that's cool that they let me return it since I can't really use it. But doesn't matter now because now we got the upgrade. I wasn't able to fit my 2-liter in here, and then I feel like the normal 16-ounce water bottle wasn't really lining up with the hole that good, so I just put some rags in here to hopefully absorb most of the coolant that drips out. But I'm gonna use a 10mm socket just like before to remove this top 10mm bolt and this one below. And you can see I just bought these fancy new rainbow colored Harbor Freight sockets. You know, gotta ball out sometimes. We got the thermostat I had installed removed. Bunch of coolant dripped out just like before. So I guess expect that. But I would try to clean it up because obviously it's poisonous to animals. They're attracted to it because of its sweetness. But got these cardboard to absorb it, or you can use cat litter. I just wiped around the seating surface for the thermostat, and now we're going to install it. One thing I noticed is it fits, definitely fits, but it feels like than the one I had previously, that one, you just set it right in and had this piece and it just aligned perfectly, but this is a little loose feeling. So I'm just going to put the bolt in, the top one, and hand tighten it a little bit, and the bottom one, and just kind of hold it into the correct position while I tighten it down, so that way it's aligned as good as I can get it. Once you start tightening it down, it does start seating better, but yeah, I would just tighten it by hand, and then once it's tight enough, you know, use your ratchet and just tighten a little bit, going back and forth, evenly distributing an even amount of pressure while you're tightening it. But yeah, as it tightens down, it does seat pretty good. Don't over torque it down because this is plastic, so you could crack it probably pretty easily. But yeah, heck yeah. I'm honestly surprised Ripp doesn't just include this in their kit, since doing bleeding the air out of your coolant system, you know, this makes it way easier. It's like almost, I don't want to say impossible to do it without the bleeder valve, but it makes it significantly more difficult. But they probably just do it to make it like $100 cheaper. But yeah, I think this is really awesome that they have this, honestly. Let's reattach the coolant hose. We have everything reattached properly. Now we're gonna utilize the bleeder valve and see if it works. I can hear some air being released right there. So typically you'd loosen it and then wait for coolant to start coming out. But I don't know if that'll happen if the car's off. Yeah, no coolant is leaking out. Maybe I'll try to pump it a little bit. Oh yeah, definitely hear the air being released there. But let's try turning on the car and then turning on the heater full blast and making sure that's working properly, because if we're getting heat, then that's a good indication there isn't any air trapped in the system. And yeah, don't strip that, that's plastic. Probably should use a giant Phillips screwdriver for that. Turn on our heating system, have it full blast, and turn that up all the way. And if our heater's working, then we know there shouldn't be any air in the system. Or if you just go and drive your car and it starts overheating. The coolant did drop down. Add in some more coolant. The car is making a little bit of a weird noise now, so a little concerning, might be unrelated. We'll just ignore that for now. And all right, we're getting some hot air coming up, so that's a good sign. Let's have it. Oh, these aren't open. It feels warm. This side's cold, but I think my AC and heater is kind of messed up because I've had this issue before where it's like one side's cold and one side's hot. I think it's a common issue for Mopar vehicles because I've seen it in some Chryslers as well. But yeah, it's feeling warm. I don't know what that noise was. Sounds good. All right, I'm gonna add in some coolant. So make sure you just remove your cap to your coolant reservoir when it's cool and not hot. We filled up the missing space and I reclosed the coolant reservoir. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna keep my heater running for a little bit, which will help get out any air, but I think we're golden, honestly. Now that we ran it for a little bit, I'm gonna re-loosen it, and oh yep, a little bit of air came out, but that's just coolant now, so probably got all the air out of there. So that's what I thought. I thought it would release the air pressure and then start dripping out coolant once you got all the air trapped out, released. But yeah, I think this is a smart modification due to your car if you have this platform, since it should help with the overall long-term health and longevity of your engine. If this video helped you out, like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for future videos. I will be posting a YouTube series of me actually installing my Ripp Supercharger kit on my Charger when I first purchased it. I recorded it back in 2022, but I'll be uploading it very soon, so stay tuned for that. It'll be exciting content.